You have just purchased an Aquabois pool, and the time has now come to make your dreams come true by installing and assembling your new semi-in-ground oval pool. Don't forget that the semi-in-ground design requires an excavator for the digging and a truck to transport the dirt. Plan carefully the access of this machinery to your lot. Be sure to consult with your municipality's bylaws that pertain to both construction and electrical installation. Then, choose your pool site after considering the following criteria: the distance between the pool and the fence, suitable electrical access, the presence of any overhead electrical wires, any trees in the surrounding area, the reflection of the sun in your backyard, the presence of underground gas cables and pipes, the proximity of the accessories such as the filtration system and the platform. Marking of the lot. This step consists of tracing the surface to be excavated with spray paint. To mark the pool, the technique consists of positioning with rods the two ends of a straight wall according to the chosen site. Starting with these 2 points, it will make it easier to trace the form and dimensions required. These marks will be used to guide the excavator. A precise marking is important because you need to be sure of your site and that the dimensions of the surface to be excavated meet the model specifications. An excavation that is too large will require the excavation of more dirt, and therefore more sand will be needed to fill in the hole. You need to plan around the pool, an excavation exceeding the dimensions of the pool by 12 inches for the curved walls and by 20 inches for the straight walls. After, you will only have to dig in the walls, holes of about 14 inches to receive the form struts. The exact dimensions of the pools are available in the document entitled Installation and Assembling Instructions. Excavation. The semi-in-ground oval pool with walls of 48 inches and a slope bottom must be buried at a minimum of 24 inches and a maximum of 36 inches. The minimum requirement doesn't apply to the oval pool with a flat bottom and a 52-inch wall, which can be installed for the above ground or semi-in-ground. Note that when excavating, the quantity of dirt to evacuate isn't to be neglected. As an example, you need to plan an excavation of about 57 tons of dirt for a pool of 13 by 25 feet, buried at 24 inches. This equals 3 loads of dirt for a 12-wheeler. When access is limited, use a frontal loader to move the dirt from the site to the truck. For more details, please consult the digging plan provided with the pool. Positioning and leveling of the concrete blocks. It is important that the walls of the pool sit on a solid base. To ensure the integrity of the base, we recommend using concrete blocks of 2 by 8 by 16 inches. Mark the 4 corners of the straight walls and the radius of the curved walls. As per the specifications in the Installation and Assembling Instructions document, proceed by positioning the blocks. Each block must be installed with 2 inches of its interior edge exceeding the exact dimensions of the pool. Then, stabilize and level these with crushed stone. Installation of the bottom drain. If you have opted for the installation of a bottom drain, it must be installed in the deeper part of the pool, centered and lined up with the edge of a straight wall. It is recommended that it be fixed with concrete. Assembling of the strut system. The straight walls are supported by a strut system, including a post, a wood strut, and a galvanized steel horizontal support. The assembly is made with bolts, screws, and hardware pieces provided for this. Assembling of these components is very easy because the pieces are pre-drilled. It is important to notice that not all the struts are identical. There are 2 left, 2 right, and between 2 to 6 centers, according to the dimensions of the pool. For more details on the pieces required for the strut assembly, consult the Installation and Assembling Instructions document. Assembling and installation of the straight walls. Assemble the rigid panels to the strut system with the provided bolts and screws. The post and panels are pre-drilled and are easy to assemble. It is preferable at this stage not to completely tighten the bolts and screws. After, screw the straight wall column with the top and bottom of the panel to the post. Make sure that the top of the panel is even with the top of the column. You can now tighten the bolts and screws. Position one of the straight walls according to the marks made earlier. After having adjusted the level of the wall, install a temporary support to prevent it from moving. At the other end, position the second straight wall while ensuring that the distance between the two walls meets the specifications of the pool and is the same everywhere. Then, by taking the measurement of the two diagonals, make sure that the two walls form a perfect square. After having adjusted the level of the wall, install a temporary support to prevent it from moving. Passing of the cables. At this stage, it is recommended to place the cables around the pool by passing them immediately in the provided notches in the posts. By proceeding this way, the cables will already be in place when installing the curved walls. Spreading of the sand. In order to make it easier for you, it is recommended at this stage, because of easier access, that you spread the specified sand quantity on the bottom of the pool before installing the curved walls. Installation of the curved walls. First, screw the cable and panel clips to the flexible panels. Positioning is easy. Simply rely on the holes located to the left of the exterior side of the panel. Please note, no cable and no panel clips are necessary to install the last flexible panel of the curved wall. Proceed then to the installation of the flexible panels. These are installed clockwise. The first panel is fixed to the last post of the straight wall by screwing the top and bottom. As you go along installing the flexible panels, thread the cables in the clips. For the next step, begin by fixing the top of the panel to the previous one by screwing diagonally in the pre-drilled hole. Make sure to level the height of the panel with the others. Fix the bottom with the panel's clip. To put them together tightly, push the curved walls column to the side by making sure that it is leveled on the top with the coping. Then proceed by screwing. Complete the curved wall section by screwing the last panel to the top and bottom of the post. Tightening of the cables. The joint of the cables must be on a straight wall, ideally on the less visible side. Simply tighten the cables by using the adjustable steel clamps. Gradually and moderately tighten the clamps by starting with the bottom cable. Check the radius and the level of the walls. Make sure that the cables are parallel all around the pool. Finally, cover each of the steel clamps with an attachment cover. Installation of the perforated drain. An efficient drainage around your pool is essential. It will prevent water accumulation, which can put pressure on the liner and on the pool sides. Semi-in-ground pools should be installed with a 3-inch perforated drain and should be connected to the house's drain whenever possible. Otherwise, connect it to a draining well, which can be emptied with a submersible pump. Concrete spreading. Pour concrete around the posts and on the horizontal metal support of each strut by forming a mound that starts at the wall. The weight of the concrete will prevent the walls from rising on the pool sides from the water and ground pressure. Approximately 35 cubic feet of concrete is needed for a 13 by 25 foot oval pool, which equals 2 wheelbarrows per strut. You can now take out the temporary support on the straight walls. Protection and verification. Flatten the corners of the steel plates in order to prevent alteration to the vinyl liner. Cover the edges of the steel plates with conduct adhesive tape. Check the wall's interior perimeter and take off all the wood chips which can damage the vinyl liner. Pay more attention where there are bolts and screws. Check the radius of the curved walls and correct, if necessary, by using the concrete blocks as a reference. Installation of the insulating foam. Unroll and position the insulating foam under the coping, then screw. Spread a quantity of sand on the bottom of the wall and on the foam. Once the insulating foam is installed, cut it at the skimmer plate and at the water return by leaving them covered to the screws. Cover with another piece of tape. Preparation of the sand bottom. Now spread about 2 inches of sand on the bottom of the pool. After, make a 4 to 6 inch cove at the wall's base. The sand cove slope must cover the insulating foam at the base of the pool, so it's tight. The cove is very important because it prevents the liner from sliding under the walls. The sand bottom must be leveled and compacted with a vibrating plate. You can also use another technique, which consists of preparing the bottom with crushed stone covered with a mat. Installation of the top rails. The straight top rails must be installed first by taking care of aligning them together and by exceeding the interior wall by approximately 1 inch. Once lined up, screw the top rails in the column by the top. Proceed then to the installation of the angle top rails on the curved walls section. Installation of the seat cap. The center of the front part of the seat cap must be lined up with the center of the column. The back part of the seat cap must be installed first and then screwed on the top of the column. Then insert the front part and screw it by the front. Installation of the liner. Unfold the liner and place it at the bottom of the pool. If the pool model has a sloped bottom, make sure you unfold it in the correct position because it is shaped according to the plan. The flat surface is indicated on the exterior of the liner. Bring the edge of the liner up and fit it to the coping gradually. After having taped off the skimmer, the water return, and the drains pipe, slide in the vacuums pipe between the liner and the walls at approximately 3 inches from the bottom to remove the air. Then, proceed with the installation of the bottom drain. Start to fill up the pool. Take off the vacuums pipe when the water level is at about 2 inches in the flat part of the pool. Stop filling up when the water level is at 24 inches in the flat part to let the concrete dry. You will be able to complete filling up 24 hours later. Backfilling of the pool. The backfilling of the pool must be done with sand. Sand has the characteristic to drain well and acts as a rampart between the pool and the dirt. As an example, you need to plan for approximately 12 tons of sand to backfill and prepare the bottom of a 13 by 25 foot pool. It is important not to compact the sand too much around the curved walls. It must compact itself naturally. To accelerate the process, you can water it. On the other hand, you must compact the sand along the straight walls. Thank you for choosing an Aquabois pool and have a terrific summer.